Okay, so let's have a look. You are only going for 6 stars. No, you're not going for 6 stars. No, you are going for 6 stars. You do 6 stars. Okay, okay, okay. You have Sisia, Seed, and Nicole, as well as Nangong Yumiya B. Yuzuha. Alright. Extra notes, saving for M6 Vivian. Hog. Returnee player, came back during Adia banner. So no Suna. Which agent should you focus on building and what should I be focusing on when it comes to disk drives? Sure. I wonder if there will ever be a Vivian rerun. Surely. Someone. You have skipped the Obol squad. Well, a good chunk of it at least. You do not have Astra. Sure, makes sense. You don't have YSG. You don't have Premier. You don't have Dialan. Okay, you definitely want to see that you can get Lucia and Dialan. Those are... Also, you don't have Yizhongguang. Okay, no Void Hunters, basically. You do have Zhao, which was free, but you didn't put Yizhongguang. Okay, sure. Yuzuha is Sisia Seed. You do have Rina, Piper. That's for secret damage. Your attack is good, but your AM is a little bit... Oh, you don't have his drives. I see. So, technically speaking, I guess I can end the account review right here if you want to. We can make it very simple. You focus on getting Branch and Bladesong and Astral Voice. That is what you can do. I also probably would recommend you to use Weeping Gemini rather than Fusion Compiler. And if you run Fusion Compiler, you want a pen ratio disk here rather than attack. But it is a little bit difficult to... I mean, that is a really nice disk. It is rather difficult to build her without signature because you are missing a lot of crit rate, right? So you are kind of forced to run crit rate here. With Fusion Compiler, you want to run pen ratio here. And then you also want Anomaly Mastery in slot 6, so you have no attack main stat, and that is just completely obliterate your stat. It's gonna obliterate your stats here. It is possible to build her that way, but it's really difficult. Because of that, I would probably recommend you to just use Weeping Gemini instead, especially with Nangong Yu, that is gonna be fine anyway. It's obviously worse than a signature, but you know, it works. And then you can just run crit rate, AM, and attack percent here. You have that level, that's okay. You could max these out, it's fine. That's probably what I would recommend. Your crit damage is fine, right? Your attack is good. You just really want those AM. And the pen ratio is fine, but pen ratio is better if you can go a full pen ratio build, right? So pen ratio here, and then also 2-piece Puffer Electro. Regardless though, right? You do have... Oh, you actually run Astral Voice here, that's fine. If you want to really optimize this, Astral Voice is better on her than on her. So the ideal layout is 4-piece Dawn's Bloom on Sisia paired with a 4-piece Astral Voice on your Seed. If you really want to care about it. But, you know. Hormone Punk 2-piece, that's okay. 2-4. And again, pen ratio. Okay, that is a really fucking good piece. I understand why you would use this. I also understand why you are not running this over here, because that is really freaking good. You really want more attack subs. You also want to level this. Okay, we are gonna make you a small Google Docie. And by Google Docie, I mean editor notepad. Okay, so first, right? Discs to farm. BNB and Astral Voice. They are always good to farm, very nice. So, same domain anyway, right? So, it's fine. Then we have Mibibi. AMD6. Weeping Gemini R5. Keep in mind it's a craftable weapon, so you can do that. And then you can run Attack D5 and CR D4, right? So, you already have that, which is fine. But this is likely gonna be better. You probably want a little bit more crit damage on your substats. This is a really good piece. You likely don't want to give that one up, but here you might want to give that one up. Try to find... You don't really need the AP roll anymore, right? Because you're gonna be running Weeping Gemini. So you're probably of better getting more crit damage, and even then, arguably, there might be a good chance that you want to change this as well, because even though you are trading this attack piece for Weeping Gemini, who has like 25 base attack, right? Okay, your base attack here is gonna be lower, but you will still have a good chunk of attack. Maybe it's still better, but you also would like more crit rate. Get some more crit rate and crit damage subs. Stay above 3100 attack if you can. That's probably what I would say for my Bibi here. Especially without signature, she's really hard to build though. Then we have Nangong Ye. For you. Usually I would recommend for most players to run attack here. However, those substats are really fucking good, so I understand very well that you would not want to do that. This means you are kinda locked into Hormone Punk unless you get a better one. When applicable, switch 2-piece Hormone Punk to Astral Voice, right? Since you hopefully are gonna be farming this one anyway, at some point you might get something where you are able to switch these 2 pieces for Astral Voice instead. You can also, because your AP is rather low, right? A good Nangong Yu AP breakpoint is like 350. There might be a good chance where you can change this. Effectively, you have 2 rolls here, and you have 6 rolls here. So if you are able to get 8 rolls on these 2 pieces on Astral Voice, you can switch this, right? So you are looking 8 rolls total, right? It doesn't really matter if you have like only 8 rolls, if like this is a really good piece or this is a really good piece. If these 2 discs are together, you know, 8 rolls, it doesn't matter. I would not recommend farming Hormone Punk specifically for that. You can give it like a 10 pull or something if you want to, but just farm Astral Voice, I think that's better. This is a really good piece that is missing some attack percent subs, right? I also probably would recommend running whatever you have currently here on your Hyper. That needs attack subs. Definitely. E4 needs attack subs. And that is honestly for now fine. You can make it better if you want. But I mean, that's all. This we have to talk about though. Your skill levels are too low. Basic, EX, ult, assist, all to 12. You really want all of them at 12. To be fair, right? You are limited by your hamster cages. So you have 3 currently, which is not enough to even level these 4, which is fine. In which case, I would still recommend this, but if you want to save your resources, assist to 11, and I honestly would probably put your EX to 12, mainly because you get to use your EX more often than your ultimate, right? So that is probably what I would do. You can leave your dodge at level 1 for now, it doesn't matter how too much, it's fine. Sisia. 107 to 9. You play with a seed, so you get like 1000 on top. 3-9. Wait, what was your other character? Nicole, right? You played with Nicole. Yes, okay. So you had 3-9 attack. That looks good. You are running Astral Voice, which is fine, right? You're running ER to PCR. You run Red Axis. That is totally okay. That is leveled. That looks all fine. You can arguably consider leveling her assist as well, mainly because her days multipliers are so fucking good. That is something that you can consider if you really want to get more out of her. She already does a lot of days anyway. Jane. 192 your attack is too low. Your AP is good, that doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, there's a good amount of pen. M0 Jane. Okay, so, I think this is gonna be the same as per usual. You need more attack. Just literally roll more attack subs. Get a better D4, right? You have... like... the pen is not bad, but you would still rather prefer other things. So... yeah, do that. Your anomaly proficiency is fine, but yeah, like, your attack is below. 68 plus 15, 87. Oh my god. I mean, you have a good ratio here, right? It's 90 to 180 would be good. You might want to consider getting more crit rate, because if you miss like the big slam down, it does like one big hit at the end. You kind of just don't want that to miss. You do have Cordis though, that's good. It's really just roll better subs here. That's fine. Nicole, 2-8, you're running Weeping. I would recommend a 2p swing jazz on her. 2p swing jazz. You can do that, like crit damage, whatever. But the thing is that you don't really care about substats on her unless you play her in either anomaly teams. Or generally anomaly teams, where you want like AP stuff, right? But because of that, I would just run ER on her. Please get Velina. Please get Velina. What the fuck? Don't skip Velina. Put this on Velina. Fuck you, Nicole. What the? I'm stun logged. Level Cradle, right? Get these to level 60. You arguably, that is actually something I probably would recommend you. You have two of them. Weeping Cradle has one of the best refinements in the entire game, and Weeping Cradle is arguably at R5 also one of the best weapons in the entire game. It is extremely good. So Cradle, the right one, not this one, this one. First of all, it gives you a fuck ton of ER, right? It is flat ER, so this one is basically doubles for most characters your ER from 1.2 to 2.4, which is really good. But the main problem is, or well, it's not a main problem, but it's like this third enhancement, right? Which is really good. For some reason, the enhancement here just goes up a lot. You have like increase of 1.8 here, and suddenly it goes up by 3 here, right? And here you have an increase of 1.3, and then you have like 0.5. So the enhancement at R3 is really fucking good, and I would probably recommend that you just overclock it instead, and then you share it. The only main problem is you don't really have Kaboom, so that is the thing. But yeah, it's really good. I would probably recommend overclock it. Swing Jazz so that you can maintain it, because maintaining Weeping Cradle is the actual real challenge. Most of the time, I would just recommend most Nicole players to just run Kaboom, because maintaining Kaboom is free, and maintaining Weeping Cradle is not free. It's really fucking difficult. Even players like Linnell usually don't run Weeping Cradle because of how much of a pain it is to get the most out of this. It's really good. And the Vault is good on her. The problem is that you need to deal ether damage to get this, so you are reliant on EX Chain Ultimate, right? Which means, for Nicole, where most of the time you are just switching in every 3.5 seconds to do like basics or dash attacks to maintain your Death Shred, you don't get this bonus. Lycon is really good nowadays. Characters to level. Lycon. Lycon has quite a few teams you can run him in, right? You have Mono Ice, which is Mibibi plus Lycon. To be fair, ideally you would want to run Yuzuha instead of Lycon, right? Ideally this would be Yuzuha. But every fucking anomaly teams wants Yuzuha. So sometimes this is just another option, right? But I'm gonna note it down here for you, even if I don't think that it is ideal. It is also really rather difficult to play. Do you have Adia? You don't have Adia. You can run Lycon with, you can run her with Pyro Ace if you want to, right? Pyro's Lycon Rina is something that you could do. In that case, you would need to level Rina. But it is something you could do. It's honestly not that great, but it works. Lycon generally is just very versatile, and I think the main selling point of Lycon is that Lycon is never best in slot, but he basically nearly always works because his buffs nowadays are so generic. You do want to unlock this, right? That is like the minimum thing you do want to have unlocked. But effectively what this does is Lycon is always gonna give you a 35% stun damage multiplier, as well as 30% damage bonus. Right, and if you pair with ice characters like Miyabi or whatever, you also get like Ice Rest Shred. But he's always gonna be fine. The main problem is you are locked to using him either with an ice character or faction character. You can also play with anomaly, right? So any anomaly character, if you unlock this, works with Lycon. So that is something you definitely can consider. The amount of anomaly characters is rather low. You do have Jane, so I think Piper is not necessary. Velina might be big for you. Velina allows you to play Jane, Velina. I mean, the problem that you have with Velina is kind of really just that any... Okay, I will ask you differently. Do you want to get Ramiel? Nope. Okay, so you hate Void Hunters. In that case, I would probably not recommend pulling for Velina. Mainly because even though Velena is a new attribute, Velena will require Yuzuha. Any team that is with Velena that doesn't have Yuzuha is just garbage the moment you do that. It is such a big drop-off. Because the only other character you can pop in is like Zhao or whatever, but it's gonna be so much worse. Yuzuha is just like the one anomaly character. She is basically what carries anomaly currently. Every single team wants Yuzuha. And that is not changing with Velena. There is an argument that we may be able to get like, you know, triple anomaly with possibly Remiel, depending on how they're gonna be doing that, right? Mainly because they did tease Velena plus Remiel. So the question is, does it replace another? Does Remiel replace the other anomaly character, or does she replace Yuzuha? And I really fucking hope that they do make Yuzuha 2 out of Remiel, because otherwise, that is the thing. It's a choice. But yeah, you have Nangong Yu. You have this core. This core works for every single anomaly character in the game, and arguably currently this core is the best in slot for every single anomaly character in the game. So I probably would not recommend Velena, unless you really like her, you know. I would recommend you Void Hunters. If you don't want Void Hunters, that's it. Please get Dialan. You might also want to consider Norma. You don't really have many stunners currently. Yeah, I would recommend you full priority. Norma and Dialan. I would recommend you both. You want a lot of stunners. And right now you only have Nangong Yu. And that's like the only stunner you have. That is also leveled. If you intend on getting those two, you can probably just not level Lycon. You will be fine. I think that is kind of it. You want to M6 Vivian. I mean, that time is kind of over, but you kind of want Premier with Vivian nowadays. You kind of want Premier. I would go as far to say that these two characters are married. Not from the perspective of Premier, but from the perspective of Vivian. Vivian, you know, Vivian is obsessed with Premier nowadays. So that is probably what I would say. Since you want to go for M6 Vivian, farm more Phaetons.